Hi guys, and welcome to another AFT clip. On this video clip I want to show you how to pump squirt worms and what essential equipment you need to be successful in getting yourself some live worms. What you see here is what you call a bait pump. You can buy this at any fishing shop or bait store. Sometimes Kmart sells them, but I wouldn't prefer those because they're really cheap and they will rust out quickly. This bait pump's a Wilson. It's Australian made. It's very good quality bait pump, and I've had it for over a year and I haven't had any problems. So you need yourself one of these, and they'll fetch you around $80 each. Now before you do go pumping, it's always important that you have spare washers. And what I mean about that is you need these things to go inside your bait pump, because over time this wears out and the edges will start to deteriorate, and the last thing that you want is to go to a spot where you want to pump out bait only to find out one of these are gone. I always carry myself screws just in case I pump and I miss one of these, which has happened to me before, and these things as well to keep the washer perfectly in line inside your bait pump. So always have a few of these laying around in your tackle box, because you will start to wear and tear your washers, and you really want to make sure that you've got everything covered. Now I'm waiting for the tide to go down, and that is the time to catch yourself these squirt worms. So once the tide is fully low, I'll show you what to look out for in the sand. Now all squirt worms, they live in very similar environments to your nippers, although they like a bit of silt and sludge, not clay. When you're pumping it out, the sand has to be like an orangey colour. If it's that colour, then you're very close to finding yourself some squirt worms. So once the tide is low, I'll show you what to look out for. Every estuary beach has squirt worms. Some have more, some have less. It just depends where you are at any given time. Season does play a role. With worms, I find that they're fatter in the winter time than they are in the summer, and in the summertime there's a lot of smaller ones that you can pump out as well. But also, before I do move on, I'd like to just address the importance of looking after your place. If you know of a spot that you can pump squirt worms, don't rape it every single day. Give it a few days or weeks to just replenish itself, because if everyone starts to attack that same beach, the end result would be no squirt worms for next season. So bear in mind, pump out just enough worms for your fishing trip, and make sure that you look after the place so you can always have squirt worms to pump in the season. Catch ya. Also, there'll be people who don't know how to put a new washer on, which I forgot, so I'm just going to show it for people who haven't done it before. There is a screw inside that you screw on the washer inside. Okay, it looks like that. Give it a good shakes and the washer should come out. If not, then just fiddle around with your fingers inside. It's not really coming out as I would have hoped, because the washer is just the same diameter as the bait pump. So sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. It depends how old this washer is. So I just put this new washer in, and I used it yesterday, and that's why it's very hard to take it out. But the general rule is you put the metal piece first. You always come with two of these. It goes first in, then your plastic washer, and then the second one of these on top, and then you just screw it on, and make sure that you tighten it up just enough that it holds the washer and you get good suction, because if you do this too tight, what will generally happen is you won't be able to pump. There'll be too much pressure in here and it will be just really hard to pump out the bait. Make it nice and tight, and there you have it. Now if you want to know if a particular beach has got squirt worms, you look out for these little sand mounds like that. That means that the squirt worm has risen up to feed, and that's a good indication that any beach that you're fishing off and you want to pump squirt worms, you look out for these, and that's where you'll get your squirt worms. That's where you put your bait pump over that, pump it out, and then see if you got any worm. And there you have it, guys. That's one piece of a squirt worm. That's very good. If you can pump a few of these, you're in for a good fishing session. Look at that, guys. A good batch. Good batch of squirt worms ready to be used tonight to catch whiting off the estuaries. This is by far the best bait.